Hi everyone at Osborne Clarke, I hope you're all very well today. For this sequence today, it will be a traditional kind of vinyasa sequence with a little bit more focus than I would usually offer on our sun salutations at the very beginning here. So it'll be a little bit faster paced once we have warmed up, and then we'll be taking some nice stretches to be able to work into the outer hips in particular, also into the hamstrings and a little bit of everything today, but it's mostly kind of hips, I would say, in terms of this particular sequence here. So whenever you're ready, we're going to come into a comfortable seated position, and instead of our regular meditation that we usually do and breathing, which is normally done in and out by nose at the very beginning, I'm going to do a specific breathing practice with you, which is known as Nadi Shodhana. That's a traditional Sanskrit name for it, but it also means and translates to as alternate nostril breathing. So make sure that you're seated upright to begin. I should also say as well the reason why we're doing this specific breathing exercise. So it's a really good way of being able to help you to breathe a little bit deeper. I'm personally someone that's affected really badly by hay fever, and even though the weather has taken a bit of a turn at the moment, I'm still being really affected by hay fever at the moment. So Nadi Shodhana helps to be able to clear the nasal passages. It also helps as well to be able to bring balance into the nervous system as well. So it's a very balanced breath, and because we're breathing in and out by nose the same amount of time, it's really good at being able to bring the nervous system into balance. We're breathing in for the same amount of time we're breathing out, which means that every time we inhale, we're subtly stimulating the sympathetic part of our nervous system, the one that's ready for fight or flight mode, and then whenever we're breathing out, we're subtly stimulating our parasympathetic nervous system. That's the one that would have traditionally been known as rest and digest, but now really is known for being safe and social. So now you can come to that seated position if you're not already, and you just need one hand for this exercise. The way that it's going to work is you're going to breathe in by one nostril. The reason we know it's just one nostril is you're going to be closing off the other nostril with your hand, and then you're going to breathe out through the opposite nostril. So you're going to close the nostril off that you just breathed in to, and then you're going to open the opposite one here. You're then going to breathe into that nostril that you just exhaled from, you're going to close it off, and then you're going to breathe out of the other nostril here. And we're going to continue like that for a couple of rounds, after which we're just going to breathe in and out by nose. So before we do that here, I just want you to take a couple of clearing breaths in by nose and out by mouth. So when you're ready, take that deep breath in by nose. Big old sigh out the mouth. Lovely deep breath in. Big old sigh. And we take that one last time. Big breath in. Sigh. And just start here to breathe in and out by nose, just as you start to prepare yourself here for your breathing exercise. And as you're breathing in and out by nose here, I want you to be able to take your hand, and you're just going to be using your little finger here and your thumb. There are different variations that you can use, but this is the one that I feel is easiest to be able to do here. So you're going to breathe in through both your nostrils as you breathe in. Exhale, you're breathing out of both nostrils. We'll do this a few more times before we just do one at a time. Big breath in. Big long breath out by nose. And we'll take two more. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last one here. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then just use your finger to cover over your left nostril here. Breathe into your right nostril for 3, for 2, for 1. Then close off the right nostril and breathe out the left for 3, for 2, for 1. Breathe into this left nostril for 3, for 2, for 1. Close that nostril off. Breathe out of the right nostril for 3, for 2, for 1. Hand stays the same. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Close it off. Breathe out of the left. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Close it off. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Close it off. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Close it off. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1. This time breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Close it off. Breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Close it off. Breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Close it off. Breathe out. Breathe in. Close it off. Breathe out. 2 more times. Inhaling. Close it off. Exhaling. Inhaling. Close it off. Exhaling. Last time here. Breathe in. Close it off. Breathe out. Inhaling. Close it off. Breathe out. Exhaling. And just let whatever hand you use just lower down. Just take a few more breaths here, breathing in and out by nose. You might choose to close your eyes as you do this now. And you might be able to notice a subtle change that's come on as we breathe in this way, in comparison to how you were breathing at the very beginning. It's quite normal to feel quite energized by this breath. It's also not unusual to feel more calm after this breath, particularly if we had a slightly higher level of anxiety or a bit more stress at the beginning. I'm just going to leave you here for a couple of moments, just to be able to breathe in and out by nose. And for as much as possible, your awareness to stay on your breath. Up to you right now. If your breath feels comfortable as is, feel free to keep it as it is. But if you would like a sigh out the mouth in order to reset, then just feel free to take it. And you can take another one just like this. Big breath in, sighing it out. But then we return back to breathing in and out by nose. And you're going to extend your legs long. If you're not at the front of the mat already, you're going to scoot your way there and then come to just lie on your backs here, placing your hands just by your side and your feet are on the floor, so your knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. On an exhale, you're going to float your knees over to the left-hand side. Good. And inhale, bring them all the way back into centre. Exhale, knees over to the right. And inhale, head back to centre. We're doing this a couple more times each side. Exhale, left. Inhale, centre. Exhale, right. Inhale, centre. Exhale, left. Inhale, centre. And last one here, exhale, right. And inhale, back to centre. You can take an exhale here and draw your right knee all the way in towards your chest. And we're just going to take a little bit of movement of that leg in your hip socket here. So it's a gentle sway of your shin from side to side. And you might do this with the leg extended, or you might prefer keeping that left knee bent. Good. 2 more, just like this. Perfect. And we'll make this next one our last one here. So still breathing in and out by nose. Exhale, right foot down to the ground. And draw that left knee all the way in towards your chest. We're moving the knee from side to side here, and we might choose to extend that right leg for a slightly deeper stretch around the hips. Good. 2 more here. Lovely stuff. Last one here. You're now going to bring your right knee in to meet your chest and to let go of both of the legs here and place your hands down by your side. And I want you to bring your attention here to your lower back, and I want you to press your lower back into the ground so that there's no gap for light nor air between your back and the mat here. And then we're very gently going to move the knees here just to start to activate through our core. So next exhale, can you move your knees a couple of inches forward? Good. And inhale, draw the knees back in towards the chest. Exhale, move the knees away from you. Keep on drawing your tummy button in towards your spine. And inhale, bring them all the way back in. And as you're moving your knees forward and back here, your lower back is not moving. So there's no rocking, there's no tilting. And we make the movement as small as we need to ensure that the back stays connected to the mat. So we're going to do 4 more like this. Exhaling away. Inhaling, moving forward. Maybe you take it a little bit further this time if you're feeling comfortable, moving away. Inhaling, moving forward. 2 more. Exhaling away. Inhaling, knees back. And the last one here, moving away on an exhale. And inhale, knees all the way into your chest. Now you can give them a nice tight hug and a squeeze here. Rocking all the way from side to side. That can feel really nice on the sides of your back. And then from here, you can just send your feet all the way up towards the ceiling and just start to just circle out the ankles, at which point you can also circle out the wrists. And we'll take everything round in the opposite direction here. You might choose at the same time to gently move your head here from side to side. Perfect. Taking hold of the backs of the thighs here. If you've got any lower back problems, you're more than welcome to roll over onto one side and then come up. Otherwise, we're going to rock forward and back a few times here. So this not only serves as a nice massage all the way across the spine, it's a good way of bringing a little bit of energy to your body, and it also feels like a nice massage across the back. We'll take 2 more like this. Good, and on your next one here, it's one movement. You're going to cross your legs, come up to seated, and then roll over into an all-fours position. And hopefully not be completely off your mat here like I was. From here, we're in an all-fours position, ready for some cat-cows. Inhaling here to lower your belly. Lift your gaze gently forward and really think about pressing your chest through your shoulders. Exhale here, we round through the spine, chin tucks into chest as we do so. We're doing 3 more. Inhale, lower the belly. Exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest. 2 more. Inhale, lower the belly. Exhale, excuse me, round through the spine. And the last one here. Inhale, we lower the belly. And exhale, we round through the spine. At which point here you can tuck all 10 of your toes under and send yourself up to a downward facing dog from here. So in your first downward facing dog, if it's your first one of the day, you want to make sure that your knees are bent either significantly or just slightly here. And this will take some of the stretch here out of the backs of the legs. And we're just going to have a little pedal through the legs here. So what I mean by that is bending one knee and stretching the back of the opposite leg. So you're really taking one leg into a hamstring stretch at any one time. And if you do want a slightly deeper version of this here, you're more than welcome to lift the bent leg off the floor. That'll take a little bit more of a stretch, particularly down towards your Achilles here. Good. Nice if you do have slightly looser hamstrings here. It's just a nice way to be able to access them a little bit deeper. Perfect. Good stuff. We'll come all the way back to centre and we'll walk our feet all the way up towards our hands here and just come into a ragdoll position where you're going to rock your body weight forward and back instead of traditionally as we tend to do from side to side here. And just notice here how it changes the stretch in your hamstrings as you shift your centre of gravity across your feet. So as you bring it more towards the toes, it tends to come slightly lower down the leg. As we send it back, it tends to take it slightly higher up the leg, but note where it feels different on you.
You can even nod your head yes in this position. As we're still rocking forward and back, you can shake it no. And you can also take a moment as well to add a bit of a bounce into your knees, still rocking the body weight back and forth, just to be able to help the lower back start to let go a little bit here. Good. Let's come all the way back to centre, bend your knees. Let's take our hands to our hips. Look forward, be on the edge of your toes, and with a straight spine, let's inhale and rise all the way up to standing. Once we get there to the top, let's roll the shoulders up and down the back. And if we're not at the very front of the mat now, we can come here, ready for our Tadasana, our mountain pose. In mountain pose, you're more than welcome to close your eyes or allow your eyes to just settle on one point to focus on ahead of you. And you're breathing in and out by nose. Noticing that breath as you breathe in, slightly cooler. How the breath is ever so slightly warmer as you breathe out. And in this moment here, you might reflect on whether you would like to set an intention for your practice or not. Intention can be anything. It might be just the way that you approach the practice today, or what you want to get out of it. But you can also offer up your practice to either yourself or to someone or a group of people who might need you a little bit more at the moment. So anything that feels pertinent now, have it here in your mind's eye. And hold that intention here for 3 more breaths as we breathe in and out by nose. As we hold here for 2. Last one here. If your eyes are closed, I invite you to open them all the way now. And take a few moments here to just widen your eyes open. Really open them so that you come and energise your face here. Next inhale, raise your hands out wide to the side before lifting them all the way up towards the ceiling. You might even look up towards your fingertips here. And then exhale, bend forward, hinging from the hips. Knees bend a lot, fingertips come down to the floor, and the head nicely falls at the very end. Let's take hands to shins and inhale, lift up to halfway. So we're going to be elongating our spine. Upper body is roughly parallel to the floor here. We're pushing through the hands, and then exhale, we rebend the knees and let the head come down nice and heavy. Step back to a plank position, and let's hold our plank. Good. So we're going to be doing a few more of these today than we might ordinarily do so. So I want you here to think about your breath continuously. Make sure that you're not holding it and that your fingertips are gripped nice and tightly into the mat. And you're really pushing through your hands. We have 2 more breaths. In and out by nose. Last one here. Let's lower the knees down to the floor and untap the toes. On an exhale, we lower down to the floor with the elbows pointing to the back of the room, half chaturanga. Inhale, squeeze your shoulders to peel your chest off the floor. On your next inhale, could you lift up even higher, keeping your feet connected to the ground. And then exhale, let your head come down towards the mat, push back through your hands and find a child's pose. And really embrace and enjoy the child's pose here. If you want to sway, sway. If you want to take your hands into any preferred position, then do so. We're going to be easing into our vinyasas that we take, so feel free to take a little bit longer on this one. When you do feel ready, in your next 3 to 4 breaths, come to find your downward facing dog here. And remember, in downward facing dog, you can be moving, you can be pedaling out the feet, or you can be still. That's really your choice every time. Then let's look to the front of the mat now and step, walk, or maybe hop all the way forward before exhaling, taking that forward fold. Bend your knees and inhale, let's rise up to standing. So straightening your spine straight away, lift your arms out wide and then take them all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, here we forward fold, rehinging from the hips, fingertips to the ground, head releases at the very end. Hands to shins, inhale, lift up halfway. Really nice. Exhale, here we forward fold. Grip into the mat, step left and right foot back to a plank. And hold your plank here, breathing in and out by nose now. We have 3 breaths. Please excuse the plane going up and over the head. Hold here for 2. Really nice. Last one here. Let your knees lower down to the floor. Your toes can untuck. And on an exhale, lower down through half chaturanga, keeping that straight spine all the way. Next inhale, peel your chest off the floor. Find cobra. And as you're doing this now, really draw your elbows down into your waistline. See if you can inhale, lift up even higher. Exhale, let your head come back down to the floor.
push back, child's pose.
Maybe in this child's pose here, we come onto the tips of our fingers. That choice is yours. That might deliver a deeper stretch into your armpits for you today. Placing your hands flat on the mat, let's tuck our toes under, downward facing dog. Good stuff. Check that you're still breathing in and out by nose. We have a couple more of these vinyasas to do right now. So let's look towards the front of the mat, step, walk or hop all the way forwards. Exhale here, we forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale, let's lift up to halfway. Good, exhale here, we're forward folding. We're mixing it up a little bit here. Bend your knees and inhale, rise all the way up to a chair pose. We're going to vary our chair poses here. So on this chair pose, I want you to hover your heels 1 to 2 inches off the mat here. So if you take the weight into the balls of your foot and your toes, keep on squeezing your glutes together and exhale, see if you can sit your hips lower. Could you raise up your heels a little bit higher? 2 breaths in and out by nose. Last one here, exhale, heels down, forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here, we forward fold. Step back to a plank. You can choose to stick to, you can choose to upgrade now to a full chaturanga if you'd like to. I'm going to demonstrate with half chaturanga because we have got quite a few more to do. Let's lower the knees and untuck the toes. Exhale, lower down through half chaturanga. Inhale, squeeze your shoulders, peel the chest off the floor, lift up. Exhale, head down towards the mat. You might come to child's pose, or you might go straight away this time to downward facing dog. And do come into downward facing dog in your next couple of breaths if you're not there right now. Breathing in and out by nose here. Let's look forward to the front of the mat, step, walk or hop all the way forward. Exhale, we forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, we fold, forward fold. Bend your knees, squeeze your glutes. Inhale, rise to a chair pose. Good. This time I want you to lift all 10 of your toes off the floor. So we shift the weight deeply back into our heels. Can we exhale and sit that little bit deeper, making sure we're squeezing our glutes continuously. Hold here for 3 breaths. Breathing in and out by nose. We have 2. Last one here. Exhale here, we forward fold. Inhale to lift up to halfway. Exhale here, we forward fold, step back to plank. Your choice, half chaturanga or full chaturanga. I'll always be demonstrating half chaturanga in today's sequence. Exhale, we lower down all the way to the floor, building up strength each and every time. Inhale, find your cobra. Or maybe choose to come up to your upward facing dog. If you are doing upward facing dog today, thighs come off the floor, tops of the feet are on the floor, and we really push through the hands here. You can lower the knees to the floor first, and come back even higher at child's pose. Or downward facing dog. Good. 2 more breaths where we are. In and out by nose. Last one here. Next inhale, send your right leg high up towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step your right foot in between your hands. We come into a runner's lunge here. I want you to place your back foot down flat on the floor, out at a 45-degree angle here. And inhale, come up to our warrior 1 position. So in warrior 1, both of the hips are roughly facing forward towards the front, the hands are going up towards the sky. It's the position that I don't tend to use very often. I tend to prefer a high lunge. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Enjoy that deep stretch here across the back of the left calf. For 2. Good. Last one here. Exhale, let your hands come down either side of your right foot and step your right foot back to meet your left plank. Lower your knees, untuck your toes. Exhale, lower down through half chaturanga. Inhale, squeeze your shoulders, peel your chest off the floor, find your cobra, and exhale via child's pose or maybe to downward facing dog. Now if you find yourself getting a little bit tired here, you're more than welcome to skip out the next vinyasa. You can always skip out any vinyasas that work for you. Next inhale, send the left leg high towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step left foot in between hands, fingertips, runner's lunge. Let's place that back foot down, it's at 45 degrees. Inhale, we rise all the way up, warrior 1 here. So we've got both our hips facing forward, reaching the hands up to the sky. Press the outside of the foot down, the outside edge, rather than collapsing into the inner edge of the foot. Hopefully you can see the difference there. Holding here for 3. Good. Bend into the left knee for 2. Good stuff. Last one here. Exhale here, we forward fold. Hands frame your left foot. We step back, plank. You can always skip this vinyasa. Otherwise, you can take any vinyasa of your choosing. And when you're ready, you can come all the way back to a child's pose here. Let's take a lovely deep breath in where we are now. And exhale, sigh all the way out the mouth. Lovely deep breath in. Big old exhale out. And in your next couple of breaths, once you come back to breathing in and out by nose, let's find downward facing dog here. On your next inhale by nose, your right leg is going to lift up high towards the sky, three-legged dog. We're going to hold this position for a couple of breaths here. Allow your left heel to go down towards the mat, it's more than welcome to. Hold here for 2 more breaths, in and out by nose. Last one here. Exhale, silently step your right foot in between your hands. Come here into a runner's lunge position. We're going to find warrior one once again, so back foot comes down at 45 degrees. Inhale, we find warrior one. Now I want you here to just open out your legs very slightly so that you create a slightly longer stance, ideally so that that right knee can come over the right ankle here. Make sure though that your hips square forward to the front of the mat, or at least feel like they're doing so. Hands up towards the ceiling, reach up and out. Hold here for 2 breaths. Last breath here. Exhale, bring your right hand forward, your left hand behind, and straighten your front leg here. We prepare here for triangle posture. Inhale, reach all the way forward with the right hand, and exhale, bring the right hand down to the inner right thigh. Left hand reaches all the way up towards the ceiling, triangle. Some people might experience a bit of sensation across the back of the right knee. You're more than welcome to add a bit of a bend in here, particularly if you feel strain in this position. Reach up to the ceiling with your left fingertips and hold for 3 breaths. Reach your right fingertips down towards the floor for 2. Last one here. Exhale, bring your torso and arms back up. We prepare here for reverse triangle. So flip your front palm to face the ceiling. Inhale, reach forward, and now send that right hand high up towards the sky, feeling that deep stretching sensation across the right hand side of the body here. Your left arm can always bind, just like we do in a warrior 2 or a reverse warrior position. Reaching the fingertips up to the ceiling. Hold here for 3 breaths. You can always have that bend in your right knee still. We hold for 2. Great stuff. Last one here. Exhale, come all the way back. Arms in line with the floor. And then from here we're going to inhale and send our left hand nice and high to the sky. Notice how I've turned to face the front of the mat. That left hand now is going to try and find the outside of the right leg here. Inhale, your right hand is going to come nice and high up to the ceiling. We find our revolve triangle here. So this will look really different for each of us, and you're more than welcome to step your left foot in a little bit if you wish to just come a little bit deeper and further down here. But really we want to feel a twist in the spine, as well as a bit of a hamstring stretch into the right leg here. So it doesn't matter how high up you are, as long as you're feeling that twist. We hold here for 3 breaths. In and out by nose. Hold here for 2. Last one here. Exhale, come all the way back to an upright position. Arms back in parallel with the floor. And then windmill the hands all the way down to frame the right foot. Left foot goes back. We're in runner's lunge. So we're letting the hips come down. We're just going to take a few little rocks forward and back. Forward and back. Left knee comes down to the floor. Toes can be tucked or untucked. Inhale, hands can either come to the right leg or up towards the ceiling. Exhale, the hips are going to press forward. Inhale, we're going to back off, hip over knee. Exhale, we're going to press the hips forward of the knee. And inhale, back off. Last one here. Exhale, press the hips all the way forward. Hand straight your right foot, step back plank. If you'd like a rest now, come back to a downward facing dog. Otherwise, you can take a vinyasa of your choosing, lowering down through half or full chaturanga, inhaling either to your cobra or your upward facing dog. And when you're ready, coming back, downward facing dog. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side here, and I'm actually going to stay facing the same way for demonstration this time around, because I know there's a few postures here that I haven't done in a while. Take an inhale and send the left leg high towards the sky. We find 3-legged dog. We're holding here for 3 breaths in and out by nose. We have 2. Last one here. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands. Fingertips first, runner's lunge. We then place that back foot down 45 degrees. Inhale, we rise all the way up. Warrior 1. Maybe at this point we lengthen the stance, and you can check my hips here. As I twist them here, you can only see my hips sideways on here. Reach the hands up towards the ceiling, and again, try not to let that inner foot collapse here. Good. Hold here for 3. Reach the fingertips up towards the sky. We hold for 2. Good. Last one here. Your legs stay as they are. They straighten though, and your left hand comes forward, your right hand behind. At this point, we inhale, reach forward with the left hand, and bring it down to the inside of the left thigh. Exhale, right hand reaches all the way up towards the ceiling, and you're creating this kind of two-way stretch here between your fingertips. This will help to open out through the chest. You might find a slight twist in your spine as you start to gaze up towards the ceiling. We hold here for 2 more breaths. One last one here. Exhale, come all the way back, arms parallel to the mat. We'll turn the left palm now to face the ceiling. Inhale, reach forward. Send that left hand nice and high up to the sky. You can take that half bind if you want to with your right arm and try to catch the inside crook of the left hip. But your main focus is reaching up and out of your left waistline here. 3 breaths. 2. Last one here. Exhale, bring your arms back in parallel with the mat. And then your right hand is going to spin all the way around, facing the front of the mat. We then take the right hand to the outside of the left leg here. Left hand is reaching high up towards the ceiling. Revolve triangle. So you might have noticed that this side of me is a lot more accessible. This is the side I'm used to twisting over to. The other side just doesn't feel familiar. We all have one side that we tend to twist to a little bit more. Generally depends if you're right or left-handed. Let's hold here for 3 breaths. Let's keep on pushing through the outside of the left leg. We hold for 2. Really lovely. Last one here. Exhale, come all the way back up to that upright position. Left hand comes forward. We're then going to windmill your hands all the way round and let them come either side of your left foot. We're going to step that right foot back a little bit, particularly if you stepped it in for your revolve triangle here. Let's take a little rock forward and back. Forward and back. Let the right knee drop down to the floor, toes can be tucked or untucked. Inhale, we can come up nice and high. Hands can be on shins, not shin, thigh, or up towards the ceiling. Exhaling to press the hips forward. Inhaling, thigh nose back off. Exhaling, press forward. Inhaling, back off. Last one here. Exhaling, press forward. Hands frame the left foot. We step back plank. Take any vinyasa of your choosing if you're going to take one. And I'll see you back here in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in by nose. Sigh all the way out the mouth. And feel free to take one more just like this if it works for you. Deep breath in. Deep sigh out. And on your next inhale, send the right leg high towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Breathing in and out by nose, exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. We come forward back into runner's lunge. You're going to shift the weight now towards the right foot. Coming with your left foot stood off the floor, rise all the way up to an upright position here, left knee into chest. And you're going to take that left knee all the way out to the left-hand side here and place it very carefully just underneath the point of your right knee here. This is important. We're not taking it to a position where we need to hoik it into place. We're using our natural strength here. And then you're going to take your hands either on your hips or maybe palm to palm in front of your chest here. If you would like to in your tree, you're more than welcome to take your hands all the way up to the ceiling in a V-shaped position. Find a point of focus to hold on to with your eyes. Hold here for 5 long breaths in and out by nose. Hold here for 4. Shoulders down the back for 3. We find 2. Really nice. Last one here. Gently let the left foot come off of your right leg. Bring the knee back into the chest. Hands could stay up and above your head here, but they can also come in front of your chest as you start to straighten your left leg and send it all the way back behind you. We find our warrior 3 pose here, our T-shaped balance. And your right leg might be wobbling a bit now. That's quite normal. It's going to get a good stretch out in just a moment for 3. We hold here for 2, don't let the left leg drop. Last one here, bend into the right knee and let the left foot come to the very far edge of your mat on the left hand side. And move your right foot slightly closer to the right edge of the mat here. So you've got this short but fairly wide stance here. Inhale, send both of your hands to the ceiling. And exhale, bending your right knee as much as you need to, bring your fingertips down to the floor here. Now you might find that you can almost have your leg pretty much straight. We're aiming for a deep stretch across the back of the hamstring, and for lots of us will still have that with a bend in the knee, but you might need to straighten your leg in order to do so. Either way, every exhale we're going to let our stomach come out a little bit closer to the right thigh here. So inhale to back off, and really think about coming onto the tips of your fingers and looking forward. And every exhale, take your gaze to the back of the room. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, stomach to thigh. Last one like this, inhale, we look forwards. And exhale, we think stomach to thigh here. Now, you're going to bend your right knee as much as you need to, so you can get your hands flat on the floor, and we come back to a runner's lunge position. This time though, both of your hands are going to come to the inside of your right foot, and that right foot may come all the way to the outside edge of the mat here. That's the word I was looking for. We're going to take a few rocks here, forward and back, and then let the left knee come down to the floor here. So we're taking a lizard lunge here, so slightly different to our regular low lunge. We're going to stay nice and low. But you're more than welcome to come into a different variation of this position, either by just bending the elbows a little bit to bring the torso lower, or if that flexibility allows you to, not worrying if it doesn't, because we can always just bend our elbows, you can come down onto your forearms if that works better. And the area that this is targeting here is the outside of the right leg, into the thigh, also mainly for me across the front of the left leg. I, like a lot of other people, have recently taken up running. My hip flexors are so much tighter than what they used to be. I'll never take it for granted again. Good. And letting those hips come forward for 3 breaths. We have 2. Last one here. Now, if you were in your forearms, gently guide yourself up onto your hands, and very carefully you're going to send your hips back here. You're going to take your hands either to your hips and come to a very upright half split, or you're going to have your hands either side of your right foot here. And if you do happen to have yoga bricks at home, you're more than welcome to have your hands on the bricks too, if you want to. But we don't have to force ourselves to go very far. We can always just be quite near to our left knee here. Turning the toes back to face towards us will help to deepen the stretch for us too. And you're just going to hold here for a couple of breaths here. Last one here. Good. And very carefully, you're going to walk the hands all the way forward, back to framing the right foot here. Tuck your left toes under and lift the left knee off the floor. We'll find our pigeon stretch here. So the right knee is coming behind the right wrist. The left leg is going all the way back, so my right bum cheek is on the floor. I'm going to bring the hands up in line with our hips here and come to an upright position to begin. So you'll have one variation that I want to offer you as an option, although all the usual variations of pigeon are here. Those are usually upright, down a little bit, or down a lot. So you can choose any one of them. Or, as you take yourself about halfway down, take your left forearm so that it's parallel to the mat. Bring your right hand just next to your left hand, and just in turn gazing over your right shoulder, actively pressing through that right hand to give you that twist here. I've just noticed the rain starting. Typical. The room that I'm using to film in as well has ceiling lights, so I'm guessing that's got particularly loud. But in this position, really here focus on that nice stretch of your right glute. Might, especially if you're taking this twisted position, be felt into the lower back here. Couple more breaths here, in and out by nose. Last one here. Let's very carefully untwist. Hands come back. We tuck the toe under. We carefully lift up, and we can find downward facing dog. Now you can either stay in downward facing dog, particularly if you feel like you want to conserve your energy, or you can take a vinyasa, lowering down through either half or full chaturanga, inhaling up to upward facing dog or your cobra, and exhaling, finding your downward facing dog. Breathing in out by nose here. Inhale by nose, lift the left leg high towards the sky, and exhale, step it in between the hands, Come onto your fingertips, runner's lunge. We'll shift the weight now towards the left foot, right foot ideally stays off the floor as you draw the knee all the way in towards your chest here. Hands can be on hips if you need a bit of extra for balance, and you can take your right knee all the way out to the right hand side and let the right foot come down just below the kneecap here, resting on the leg. Now hands can stay on your hips if you wanted to. They can come in front of your chest, palm to palm. If you'd like to, you can take that V shape up and above us. But we're holding on here for 4 long breaths. Think about standing as tall as possible in your tree. You have 3 breaths. 2 more. In and out by nose. Last one here. Even keeping your hands up and above your head or returning them in front of your chest. Lift the right foot off the left leg and bring the knee forward before slowly transferring yourself into a warrior 3 position. So we're thinking about being in a capital T shape sort of position here. It doesn't need to be perfect. We're lifting that right leg high, letting the torso come a bit lower to the floor. For 2 more breaths. In and out by nose. Last one here. With that left knee, bend it. Take the right foot all the way out to the far edge of the mat on the right hand side. So you have that short but fairly wide stance here. Take your hands up and above your head as you inhale and exhale by nose. Bring your hands all the way down to frame your left foot here. Remembering we can bend that left knee as much as we need to, or we might straighten the left leg as feels good. Every exhale here, you're going to let the stomach come that little bit closer to the thigh, and that will target the hamstring on the left hand side here. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, think about bringing the stomach closer to thigh. Inhale here, look forward. Exhale, stomach to thigh. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale here. Take the weight into the left knee. Step the right foot all the way back. And take a moment here before you take the knee to the floor. Bring both of your hands here to the inside of the left foot. That foot can go all the way to the outside edge of the mat here. We'll just take a couple of rocks forward and back in our lunge. Now we can let the right knee come down to the floor. Toes can be tucked or untucked, and we're prepared here for lizard. So you can be on your hands, you can come down to your forearms. There's a place in between there. You can just bend into your elbows. And just be prepared here to settle into this position for a couple of longer breaths here. So you'll be feeling something from the outside of the left leg, front of the right hip, and I also feel something into my inner left thigh here too. You might feel something around the lower back. As we just take a few moments here to slow things down and hold this position for that little bit longer here. Good. We'll then very carefully use our hands, coming up onto the hands if you're not there already, and then extend the hips back and extend the left leg nice and long. You might shift that left foot so it's more into the centre line here, and you can either stay in an upright position. If you've got a wall, you can feel free to hold on to it, or we can also take our hands either side of that left foot here. And I really encourage you to point the toes back towards your face. This will help to extend the left leg a little bit longer without having to force yourself down to go a little bit deeper. And every exhale, you might just see if your hands move that little bit further forward. I know that I'm fairly near my maximum of where I am today, so I'm just going to stay where I am. But every exhale, you might just feel the position come out a little bit more comfortable. Good. And then very carefully guide yourself all the way forward, tuck the back toes under, lift up runner's lunge, and then let that left knee come all the way down behind the left wrist. And we're sending the right leg all the way back here so that we prepare for pigeon. So you're either going to stay upright in your pigeon, come down to halfway, or surrender, whichever works for you. But if you want to take that twist, you're placing the right forearm parallel to the short edge of the mat, and you're taking that twist here over your left shoulder. So you can really see how I'm quite actively pushing through my left hand. This is what creates a twist here. I'm not staying down low, but it's not really doing anything. That lift in your chest is where that stretch is happening. And I'm just feeling that nice lengthening throughout the lower back here, particularly on that left hand side. Good. You might feel a nice bit of sensation in the mid back as well for 2. Last one here. And very carefully, you're going to guide yourself back to centre. If you came onto your forearms, you're going to bring yourself onto your hands. Tuck all 10 of your toes under. We'll tuck all 5 under on your right foot and push back to downward facing dog. And we can either stay in downward facing dog or take a vinyasa of our choosing, lowering down and exhale through half or full chaturanga. Inhaling up to either cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, let's everyone come down all the way to the mat. Child's pose here. You can take any child's pose that you want, maybe with wide knees or maybe with narrow knees so that your stomach rests fully on your thighs. You can extend your arms in front of you, much like I'm doing. You can always take your arms by your side if you prefer. And we're just going to take a moment here, just take a deep breath in by nose. And sigh all the way out by mouth. Breathing in by nose. We sigh out the mouth. Great stuff. Really carefully here, guide yourself to a more upright position. Good. And then you're going to come and sit probably lengthways on your mat here so that you have the mat either side of you. You're going to come into a wide-legged position here. So you want to be able to find a position where your feet are able to comfortably point upwards towards the ceiling. So if that does mean that you have to have your legs a little bit narrower, then that is absolutely fine. Either way, we're going to press our hands by our side and lift up our hips a little bit and just block them back a little bit. And the idea is that you might be a bit more upright where you are here. Then take an inhale, raise your hands high up to the ceiling, and exhale, reach your hands all the way forward. And there might be lots of space to move forward. Today I know there's not really that much space for me here. And every exhale, you're just going to see if your fingertips can guide themselves forward a little bit more, keeping that nice upright position in your spine. Every exhale, just see if your fingertips move that a little bit more forward still. And making sure that the toes as well still remain pointing upright or flex back towards your face. And then take a moment here to walk your hands all the way over towards your right foot. Just take a moment to see if you can go a little bit deeper. Doesn't matter at this point if your spine curves a little bit. In fact, it may add something if you tuck your chin in towards your chest. And then elongate the spine and take your torso all the way over to the left leg. Notice whether one feels more comfortable. This is the one side that feels more comfortable for me. And see if the head comes any lower, chin to chest. Come back upright. Come all the way back up to an upright seated position. We're going to take one more fold forward. This time before leaning up, instead of lengthening upright, I want you to just allow yourself to fold forward. Instead of trying to encourage the fingertips to fall further forward, you're just going to turn your palms to face up. You're going to relax your toes, so they might even almost point. And you're going to take a big breath in here by nose. And sigh all the way out my mouth. Big breath in. Big sigh out. You might just here start to add a bit of a sway from side to side in your torso. Just for a little bit of motion throughout the lower back. And very carefully guide yourself to that more upright position. And swing both of your legs around to the front leg of the mat, the front side of the mat. Here we go, sit nice and upright here. You're going to bend your right knee and bring the foot here over your left leg, so it's the outside of it here. Take a nice inhale and elongate your right hand to the ceiling, place it behind you like a second spine, and draw that left knee here in towards your chest as you take a twist here, gazing over your right shoulder. And every exhale here, you're going to see if you can twist your torso that little bit deeper. Every exhale, a new opportunity to go deeper still. And then coming all the way back to centre here, we then extend the right leg nice and long. I'm going to draw that left leg here to the outside. So placing the right hand around here, inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, take a twist here, gazing over the left shoulder. Every new inhale, can we go upright a little bit more? Every new exhale, come everything from the shoulders down, twist that a little bit more. And then coming all the way back to centre here. We're going to keep that right leg extended and draw the sole of the left foot just into the inside of the right leg. And inhale, elongate the hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we're going to fold all the way over that right leg here. So your spine doesn't need to be bolt upright. We can have a little bit of a curve here, but I still want you to be gazing beyond the edge of your toes here. Every exhale, you're just going to see if you can inch your hands a little bit further forward without straining and drawing your shoulders up towards your ears. Try to keep them down your back. Every exhale, just see if your stomach can come down a little bit closer to your thigh. And exhale, come all the way back to centre. We'll swap over to the other side. So the left leg is now extended long, Nadi Shodhana on the second side. Sit up nice and tall to begin, and then just allow yourself here to drape over that left leg. Spine is still longish. You can have a slight curve, but we're just gazing over the left leg here. Every exhale, you're just seeing whether your stomach wants to come a little bit closer to the thigh. We're trying to stop and avoid the shoulders coming out towards the ears. Keep on pressing them down the back. And exhale, just see if the lower back lets go and gives. And then very carefully guide yourself up to an upright position. Pop the feet at the front of the mat. Scoot your bum all the way forward and come to draw your knees in towards your chest here, giving yourself a hug, a squeeze, and a rock here from side to side. And you can take your arms out wide to the side or to a cactus shape if that works better for you. And take an exhale and float your knees all the way over to the left-hand side of your mat. I like placing at the moment my left hand on the top of the top leg, which in this case is my right. So I've just got the opposite arm to whichever top leg I have, just encouraging it down. It's not yanking, it's not forcing, but it is just adding a little bit of extra stimulation and stretch into my right kind of SI joint area. And taking the gaze over the right shoulder will help complete the twist that little bit more, taking it all the way to the top of the spine here. Let's take a deep breath in, and sigh all the way out the mouth. And then coming all the way back to centre, use your core, draw the knees in, and float them all the way over to the right hand side. This time you might take right hand on top of left leg, just draw it down that little bit further towards you. Just adding a bit of weight onto the leg rather than yanking or pulling it down. Deep breath in by nose. Let's sigh all the way out by mouth. And then very carefully here, draw your knees back to centre. Give them a nice big hug and a squeeze here, draw them in nice and tight. And then let the soles of the feet come down to the ground and choose whichever position you'd like to adopt for your Shavasana. On the last video I did, I offered the option of your legs up the wall, so if you do have a wall close by, you're more than welcome to rest your legs on something, even like a chair or on top of your sofa, like this can be really nice. You can have the soles of the feet on the floor, and of course you could be lying here flat on your back as well. Whichever position you choose, I want you here to just allow the eyes to close and soften, and just to take a moment here to actively relax your jaw. So release the bottom jaw away from the top and gently wiggle it from side to side. And once you've done that a couple of times, let the mouth close, but don't let the teeth clench together. Create space between the top and bottom rows of teeth. And over the course of the next few minutes now, we're going to embrace our Shavasana. You can feel free to take a longer one if you wish to by pausing the video now and setting a timer for yourself for any length of time that suits you. And if you wanted to, this could be a really perfect place here for a longer spot of meditation, if you wanted to go into that after your relaxation. But for now, the most important thing is to let your eyes soften or close, and for your breath to return to normal, so that there's this effortless sense of just being where we are right now. There is nothing here required or expected of you in this moment. This is your Shavasana. As you lie here now, still with the eyes closed or soft, I want you to become aware of sounds. Let your mind be like a microphone for sounds. So let the sounds come to your ears rather than seeking them out. And try as much as possible to notice the sounds without trying to decipher or label what the sound is. It might be a sound within the space that you're in. The sound of my voice. A sound outside of the room or even beyond the building that you're in currently. Notice sounds. And then bring your awareness here back to the sound of your own breath. A sound likely audible just to yourself. It's soft and probably fairly quiet, maybe even completely internal, so you might have to really seek this one out. And then take Take a deep breath in by nose and a very audible sigh out the mouth. You're going to do one more just like this and have a deep breath in, really audible sigh out the mouth. And just start to move your fingers and wrists. You might start to move your toes and your ankles, and maybe take the soles of the feet to the floor and allow your knees to float side to side a couple of times. We then carefully draw the knees into the chest, give ourselves a tight embrace, and might even lift head, neck and shoulders off the floor before we allow ourselves to roll all the way over onto one side here. Stay in that little fetal position, there's really no rush to exit it. But when you do feel ready, guide yourself carefully up to an upright seated position. Ideally still with the eyes closed, but sensing in yourself how to sit upright and tall, how to draw your shoulders down your back here. And just taking some moment here to bring your awareness back to any intention that you might have set at the beginning of the practice. This might have been an intention that was just related to this practice. But it might be that you were offering it up to someone, something, a cause, a group of people, in which case that's a time now to honour them in your mind's eye now. Let's take a lovely deep breath in here. A really nice sigh out the mouth, nice and slow. Whenever you're ready, in your own time, just open up the eyes, blink them slowly open, and bring yourself here back into the room. Thank you so much from myself to all of you today. Thank you for joining me once again for another Yoga Flow. I do hope to be practicing with you at some point, either virtually or in person in the future. So keep on tuning in every fortnight for a little bit of your yoga fix in the meantime. Hope to see you all very soon. Have a lovely rest